Alrighty. Howdy, tubers and futters. Welcome to this evening's Iron Dog 2023 update. Glad you guys are here with us. I got my Chewbacca Pezzy dispenser to help us get through this evening's race. Also, I've got this for during race week. The Bean Boozled from Jelly Belly. Look at that. So we're gonna try some of these out during race week. That ought to be fun. And also, to keep us going, I got some candy necklaces to chew on. Hey, Mopar Will. Hey, Mopar Bill, welcome. I got the goods. So I'm going to be hooked up, chomping on those while I'm waiting for the racers to come in. You know what I'm saying? And of course, drinking out of my, let me get this logo right. Out of my Iron Dog swag cup. There we go. So this ought to be fun. All right, so the racers are coming into McGrath. The top teams are already in. Pyro Medic, welcome. Midnight, early. You're just starting. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen again. So let's see what's a happening. All right. It's going to tell me all this stuff, so I got to agree to all this stuff. Oh, yeah, I want to share that too, just in case there's some audio. You guys want to hear it, I'm sure. All right, here we go. Oh, boo, 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 boo. All right. Let's get over here. Here's the Iron Dog page, as y'all can see. So most of your stuff is going to be here in the race standings during the race. You know, your standings and leaderboard will be right there. Your GPS tracking is second in line in the race info, and your live streams are all there. But they do have these quick little go-to buttons here. So if there is a live stream currently running, you'll be able to click on that there. Chewbacca's wiping himself out here. I'm going to set him over here maybe. And then if you want to get on and track the race, you can go there. And that is going to probably, well, let's just click on it. It's going to take us right to where we're going. Oh, well, this now, keep in mind, don't panic, tubers and footers. During the first day of the Iron Dog, their website takes a beating. A lot of a beating. Yes! Look at that, tubers and footers. Team 7 is in the lead. Woo! Nick and Tyler are kicking some booty. Booty. That's so exciting. All right. Sorry. I'll try and tone it down a few notches. That ain't happening. Team 7. Yes. So they've got 7 hours and 34 minutes, 14 seconds on the course. They have done a total of 339 miles, and their average speed is 44.78 miles an hour. They are flat out booking. Holy moly. So they are on a 14-hour layover in McGrath. So after they're over with their layover, they'll be heading out. So this is the way that they've strategized the race. They've taken a lot of the layover strategy away from the racers. So it's kind of a, depending on how racers feel, I would like to get more of that information. So we'll interview the racers after the race and see, get their opinions on it. But those seem like a long layovers for these racers because they're going to be amped up. They're not going to sleep these long, so usually 6, 9, 8, those kind of layover time frames, 12, uh, are good. And then it's really nice to break them up. So sometimes I think these long layovers where they're all bulked up and up into areas, it's good to try and get the media involved because then the media can fly to McGrath. They can watch the teams come in. They can interview the teams as they're, eating and, working on their sleds or whatever they're doing during that 14-hour layover when they're not sleeping. So they are trying to make it more accessible for the media and spectators. So it's kind of difficult trying to make the race accessible. So they've moved a few things around to try and help that. So all right, so Team 7 is in the lead. They're on their 14-hour layover in McGrath. We've got Team 14 in second place. That's Boylan and Leslie. Woo-hoo-hoo. So let's open up our Iron Dog guide. So let's take a looky and see what we've got going on here. So Team 14. All right. That's right there. So I should go ahead and bring you guys to the leaders. We did interview Team 7. So you guys did get to chat with them for just a moment. I would love to talk to them again at the end of the race. We are going to Nome, tubers and footers. So we are going to Nome. We're not going to be there for the whole time that they are there, but we are going to go up there for the banquet and we'll get some wrench time in. So we're going to go up for a day on Tuesday, the 21st. So hopefully my body will be playing along well. But we're just going to do a day trip. And so I'm excited about that. So that'll be fun. So we'll get to talk to more teams and stuff, hopefully, while they're on their big 40-hour layover in Nome. So that'll be fun. All right. So back to here. Look, I've got as many autographs for y'all as I can. I was thinking I would like to raffle one of these books off with their signatures. So I'm going to try and get more of them. I'm going to definitely try and get all of the racers signed in Nome. Team 44. Well, I'll tell you about that here in a few. So, but we're going to work on it and maybe I'll, figure out a raffle, something for you guys to get one of these books. So here we go. So here's our champs currently. They are last year's champions. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I certainly hope so. That's Tyler Ackelstad and Nick Olstad. They are a Team CC team. So that is really awesome. That is so cool. So they're up in the lead. They're getting some sleeper time. So then we've got Team 14. Let's get over here. That's a Polaris team right here. Boylan and Leslie. So that's awesome. We did get to meet those guys. So their course time is 7 hours, 49 minutes, 39 seconds. They're at 339 miles. And their average speed is 43 miles, 0.31 miles an hour. So as you can see, this is kind of how you're going to read these. As they get into more split times, it's going to get a little bit more confusing trying to figure out where the teams are in these layovers. So once these layovers start going through, you're going to see this get a bit more confusing, but I'm here for you, tubers and footers. I'm going to help you through it. So let's keep going down. Now we've got our third place team, Morgan and Olds. Now remember, if you remember when we were last on, they were in the lead. So this changes fast. A lot can happen on this trail, I'm telling you. It is intense to the very end. So a lot can happen every section. So let's take a look at Team 10. Here we are. Ba-da-da. So we got Mike Morgan and Chris Olds. I thought I got Mike's signature. Maybe, I don't know. We'll have to look at our book. So we got Chris's for sure. We got to track down Mike and get his. So, good, great group of guys. I'm telling you, these are some good. The camaraderie in Iron Dog Racers, there's nothing like it in any other racing organization. I can tell you that. I've raced in a few different things, and there is something, even though they're racing different brands, there's a lot of, they're highly competitive, but the sportsmanship that these racers have is top of the notch. I mean, there's nothing like it. So it is, I think this is one of the races that if they really got into the meat and the bones of it all, like if, Discovery Channel or one of those, big channels really got into this race and started getting into some of these racer stories and their backgrounds, and, they're going to find some incredible, get to your heart and soul kind of stuff, because there's nothing like this race in the world, and all these racers, it doesn't matter what they're, what they're racing out there on the trail, they will stop and help each other. That's also part of the race rules, so but that's how they are. They're not going to leave anybody stranded out there. It's really cool. So these racers will do anything to help one another. It's pretty awesome to see. And you'll see that more as the race goes on, especially as the teams start dropping out. The ones that are getting towards the end are really helping each other get towards the end, because, like I said, this is a race where every year over half the field doesn't finish. So that's quite a bit. So here we go. That was Team 10 and third. And then we've got, all right, Barber and Lapham. That's Team 39. Look at them go. Sweet. So here, let me show you right here. And this is Cody Barber. We did talk to Shane. That was his dad. So there we go. Here's Team 39. They're racing with Barber Racing, which is really awesome. And for Polaris, and with Hatcher Pass Polaris. Pretty cool. These guys are really awesome. And so, young team. What are they? 29 and 30. There you go. All right. Good times. And so we've got in fifth place, right on, Ryan Sodasanti and Kishbaugh. Let's see. That's Team 2. Way to go, dude. Way to go. So Bradley Kishbaugh. Really, really fun group of guys there. Cool, cool peoples. All these racers are cool. Right? You got to be cool to do the Iron Dog. Just goes with it. So good on them. And then we've got, yeah, team number 3, Clewine. Clewine. Here we go. So I didn't get to see Margaret at the start. I was looking all over for her. Margaret, where are you? So hopefully we'll definitely see her more. That's their aunt. I used to work with her at Alaska USA. So, and her brother is their dad. So Kenny Clewine. And he used to own Hatcher Pass Polaris. So really cool dude. And he's an Iron Dog vet, Iron Dog champion. All right. So we've got in 7th place, we've got Team 9. You guys know who that is. All right. Shane and Troy. Now, we did get an interview with them at the tech inspection. For some reason, I don't have their signatures. So we'll get them. It's okay. We'll get them. But we're definitely going to talk to them again after the race for sure. They are a great group of guys, and Shane has some incredible stories, especially since he's got his sons are racing in it, you know? I mean, come on. Here we go. So that'll be awesome. And then in 8th place, we've got Palin and Van Wingerden. So we're going to talk to them. That's going to be a really fun interview. Team 49. There we go. Look at Clinton. Whoops. Look at him. God bless Jackie. Love this guy. What a sweetie. And here's Todd. So we're gonna definitely cheer these guys on. We're cheering all of these teams on, because just to do the Iron Dog, just pulling up to the start is an accomplishment. You know, to get the sponsors together, to get your body in shape, to just get to that point takes a lot of work and sacrifice, you know. So good on all these teams. So we're cheering them all along. All right, so that's awesome. So I'm looking forward to talking to these guys. We're definitely going to harass them in Nome, and we're definitely going to harass them after the race. So that's going to be fun. So good on them. Good for you. Now, Todd has raced for Team CC before too. So, but he's running for Polaris this year. All right, so let's see. In 9th place, we've got Kraus and Strobel, and that is Team 20. So I'm going to flip through here. I hope you guys don't mind me doing all this, but I think it's fun. It's there we go. Team 20. Jeff Kraus and Dieter Strobel. There you go. They're in 9th place currently. Good on them. Way to go, team. So that's awesome. They are running Skidoo, but I do not. I'm looking for Team CC in their list. All right. So there we go. Right on Team 9, but they are running Skidoo. All right, Quaco and Moan. So we've got Team 8 in 10th place. Sweet. And this is our Team CC team. Chad Guaco and Cody Moan. So Chad Guaco is Danny Guaco's son. It's someone that my dad and my brother have known since way back when. So really cool family. So his dad does the shocks at Team CC. Excellent shock guy. So, of course, Team CC is going to have the best of the best on their team, because that's how they operate. All right, so we've got in 11th place, running Missy and I's number. I'm just going to call that our number. It's not our number, but, you know, it's the Miller Brothers. Woo! Team 23. Here we go. Yay! So these are the teams. These teams are all in McGrath. They're all in their 14-hour layover. They've got a course time of 8 hours and 52 minutes exactly. And their average speed is 38 miles an hour, 38.23 miles an hour. So they are on their 14-hour layover in McGrath. And then in 12th place, we have got Team 19, Chad Moore and Travis Temple. And Chad is from Sterling and Travis is from Soldotna. I guess I should have been saying that all along. I'll get better at this, tubers of butters. All right, so here we go. There's Chad and Travis right here. I hope you guys can see this, because I can't see my screen right now. There we go. Red. They're running red, so they're running for Polaris. So as you see in the book, we've got yellow, red, and green, and that is covering which brand they're on. The red is Polaris, yellow is Skidoo, and green is Arctic Cat. We do not have any Yamahas in the race this year. Okay, so that is our 12th place team, and in 13th place, we have Team 30, and that is Blake Elder and Cody Worley. Really cool dudes. I can't wait to interview these guys after the race. That's going to be really fun. So they're both from Wasilla, out here where the cabin is, out in this neck of the woods of Alaska. So here's Cody, and here's Blake. And they're running red for Polaris. All right, good on those guys. They have made it into McGrath with a course time of 8 hours, 58 minutes, 45 seconds, with an average speed of 37.75 miles an hour. That's still cooking. All right, so in 14th place, Team 31. Are you guys seeing it? There we go. It's another Barber. Evan Barber. He's only 18 years old, tubers and footers. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? And he's a veteran. That means he has finished the Iron Dog already. So there you go. And he's running with Kelly Summer. That's awesome. That's really cool. And they are a Polaris team. And of course, they are a Barber racing team. So awesome. That's going to be exciting to follow these guys too. So the Barber family, I just, cannot say enough good things about the Barber family. They're a unique Alaskan family in so many ways, but they are just the most gracious, loving, generous people you could ever meet. And I'm telling you, they're just awesome. And hopefully we're going to have Tammy on, and she'll be co-hosting with us, so you guys get to meet her. She's really awesome. Another woman who I completely idolize. She is badass. So she's a badass. So that'll be awesome. All right. So enough gushing over the Barbers. All right. We've got Team 41 in 15th place, and that is the Wold. Is this the father-son team? I believe so. And so we've got Wayne Wold, and I think his son's name is Hakan. Oh, I'm so sorry if I got your name wrong, but here we go. Here's our racers here. And they are running on a skidoo. Sweet. I'm looking for Team CC in there. I don't see them in the list. But anything that runs for Skidoo, I'm sure they'll be helping them out. So that's pretty awesome about Corey and Barb. They not only sponsor, I think they've said that they've got 7 teams in this year, but they also help out the race itself, and they help all the racers that they can. They are fantastic. And it's one of those things where, yes, I understand, like my mom, and there's a lot of us that would like to see Missy and I on the Hall of Fame, the Iron Dog Hall of Fame. But there are so many racers, sponsors, and just supporters of the race itself that deserve to be on that Hall of Fame before Missy and I. And I really would love to see Corey on the Hall of Fame way before Missy and I get on there. So that's another one of those. So that's just my spiel. All right, so good on you guys, Team 41. And so their course time is 9 hours, 49 minutes, 20 seconds. And they have an average speed of 34 miles an hour, 34.51 miles an hour. And they are those are the last team that is currently on layover in McGrath. So good on you guys. I wish I had some sound effects. Woo! Bravo. Well done. That's a hell of a push for the first day. Good on you guys. It's putting the fuel down. There we go. They're putting that hammer down. I'm flipping that throttle the whole way. Putting that hammer down. All right. So now we are on the teams that are heading towards McGrath. So we've got Team 12, Collins and Wicken, are currently in 16th place. And here we go. And they are Team CC team coming in. Woohoo! Cheer them on, tubers and futters. We got to cheer them on. So here is Christopher Collins and Douglas Wicken right here. Boom, boom. So they are making way towards McGrath. We're going to check them out here when we get over to there. And we have got, so they're the next ones that are closer in. Okay, so our next team in 17th place is Team 4, and that is Baldwin and Williamson. Oh, I should go back. I am sorry. So Collins and Wicken, they have got a course out time right now of 9 hours, 9 minutes. And they are at the course mile 287. And so they are headed out of Nikolai. So they've already checked in, they fueled up, and they are checked out of Nikolai, heading north towards McGrath. So on the way they go. Way to go, guys. Way to go. So, okay, so back to Team 4. Here we go. And this is an Arctic Cat team. And these are our Norvik team. These are from Norvik, Alaska. Sweet. Get it, dudes. Get it. So here's this team. Team 4 right here. And they are currently, right now, on the course time, 6 hours and 36 minutes. And they have checked out of Roan. They're headed north. And right now, their course mileage is 213 miles with an average speed of 32.27 miles per hour. Way to get through that rough spot. So these guys that are from Norvik and up north in Alaska, there's not a lot of trees. They're not used to riding in the trees. And so it's usually a bit hairy for those teams to get through that first section of the race because all the trees. And I'm telling you, there are so many sections, and they're going through that where that is just ski to ski, and you are just winding your way through that trail. So that can be a bit unnerving if you're not used to being around trees at all. So up and further up north in Alaska that you get no trees. So there you go. A little bit more information for y'alls. All right. So in 18th place, we have Team 37, Fosti and Hildebrand. All right. And right now they have checked out of Roan. Ooh. All right. That is, that's a rough section in there. So, all right. We've got right here, they're running red, which is Polaris. So that's Mark Fosti and Ben Hildebrand. There we go. We'll get these signatures, y'all. If you don't see them in there, you're gonna. And look, I made him sign with a hot pink Sharpie. All right. So we've got Fosti Hildebrand, Team 37, in 18th place. They've got a course time of 6 hours and 41 minutes. And they have checked out of Roan. They're headed northbound. They're on course mile 213. And their average speed is 31.87 miles per hour. Way to go, guys. Way to go. All right. And currently in 19th place, we've got Team 11. All right. And this is Kovalt and Wagner. Now, what's really interesting about this team is David Wagner, is from California. So here's David Wagner, and here's Tad Kovalt, Team 11. Way to go, guys. Way to go. So right now, they've got a course time of 6 hours and 47 minutes, and they are at a course mile 213, checked out of Roan, northbound, and their average speed is 31.40 miles an hour. So here are the times that they're checking in and, out. So when you see, as like if they were checked in, you would see that time there. But if they've not checked out yet, so that's how you're kind of watching these different times and status. They'll change. So in 20th place, way to go, guys. They found their way back on the track. If you remember from earlier, they'd gotten a little off track there. So this is Team 28. And this is our veteran, they do the, let's see, Charlie Potter started the Battle Buddies, which is where he races to help the troops feel like they're still part of a team. So good for you, Charlie. So he's got all of our veterans and stuff, and our military are following this team hardcore. So good for you, Charlie. He's a really cool guy. He's been working at this. This is a big passion project for him as well. So way to go. Thanks for your service. And so that is Team 28. He is running Polaris. And so they have checked out of Rhone. They're headed northbound. They've got a course time of 7 hours and 4 minutes with the course mile 213. So that's where they've checked in. And they have currently, their average speed is 30.14 miles an hour. Good on you, Charlie. Good to see you. Tearing it up. Way to go, bud. Way to go. All right, so here we go. Now, in 21st place, we all know this team well. This is Team 13. All right, so this is Leah and Jacob. Here they are. Get my book to settle down here. Let me just flip it. All right, here's Leah and Jacob. We didn't get Jacob's signature somehow, but here we go. Leah and Jacob, and they are checked out of Rhone. Bravo, good for you. Good for you. They've got a course time of 7 hours and 11 minutes, and they have checked out of Rhone. They're northbound, course mile 213, with an average speed of 29.65 miles an hour. Way to go. Way to go. Now, in 22nd place is the women's team, Team 16. All right, let's see here. Way to go, ladies. Way to go. All right, so we've got Hillary and Ashley right here. They are running Polaris. There you go. You see Hillary's got quite some stats. And then Ashley here, so does she. They've been racing and doing their thing. And Hillary, this is so embarrassing, you guys. I'm going to tell this story. Oh my gosh. So in one of my books, I was trying to highlight stuff for the racers. And so when I got here, because I keep struggling on this title she has, and so I went to go highlight it in the book. And it's right here where she has got Athlete of the Year for Alaska, which is awesome. Good for you, Hillary. And so I was trying to highlight that because I keep saying she's on the Hall of Fame and all these, I keep giving her all these other titles. Anyhow, so I'm like, I'm just going to highlight it. That way I get to look at it. It'll be right there. It'll be quick to access and it'll be easy. And the pen I used was not a highlighter, and it looks like I'm crossing it out. So embarrassing. Anyhow, so she was signing that book, and there it looked like I had her title crossed out. Dork. But there you go. It looked like a highlighter. I'm going to show you guys the pen so you guys can see it. Even it says highlighter, but it wasn't. It wasn't a highlighter. It's way too dark. Anyhow. So there you go. The ladies are checked out of Rhone. They've got a course time of 7 hours and 33 minutes when their course mile is 213 with their average speed of 28.21 miles an hour. Way to go, ladies. Way to go. Good on you. So in 23rd place, we've got Brewer and Crandall, Team 21. All right, right here. Duncan Brewer and Cole Crandall. Way to go. That's a Team CC team. Woo woo. So as you can see where they are, they have checked out of Puntilla and they are headed northbound. So their course time is 4 hours, 41 minutes, 57 seconds, excuse me. And they're at course mile 148 with an average speed of 31.49 miles an hour. They're doing good. That's good average. So they must be, I'm not going to guess what's going on with them. That's one thing I want to bring into this, and I need to check with permissions and stuff like that for bringing on Facebook Iron Dog group information onto my podcast. So, but there'll be a lot more insider information, things that you can hear that you're not going to see anywhere else. There's going to be videos, there's going to be all sorts of stuff on their group page. So if you're on Facebook, definitely go check it out. So, team 24, or the 24th place team, is team 44. Woohoo! All right. And this team, I can get my fingers to work on my book properly. Arctic Cat team, and they are from Katzabue. All right. Way to go, guys. Way to go. Right here. Frank and Malachi. Wow, Malachi's only 18. Awesome. We got to talk to them for just a little bit. I'm looking forward to interviewing them after the race as well. So that's going to be awesome to talk to them some more. Hopefully we'll see them and talk to them while we're in Nome as well. So that's really awesome. That's really cool. I'm excited for them. Good on you guys. So, they are taking a layover. They are on a 6-hour layover in Puntilla. That's a smart move. That way they can get a little bit more rest before they head through that tight section in the trees. That's a really smart move. That's one of the moves that Missy and I made that move. So, their course time is 6 hours, 49 minutes, and 23 seconds. They are at course mile 148 with an average speed of 21.69 miles an hour. And they are on their 6-hour layover in Puntilla. So they'll probably get to McGrath and take either another 6 or another 8. So that's probably what will happen there. So good on you. That's a smart move in my opinion. And we have our first scratched team. Bummer. But what is really awesome is we don't have any teams that have scratched off Big Lake. So there you go. Way to go. There used to be so many years where at least one team would scratch just trying to get off Big Lake. So that's really good. That means that Iron Dog and all the volunteers and everybody has done their part to make sure that there's no gotcha spots coming out of Big Lake. So really good. Good on you guys. So thank you for the trail volunteers that go out there and check the trail and mark those spots, because a lot of time, like in the Baja, and especially in a race like this, where they'll have people that will go out on the trail knowing that these teams are going to be racing and putting all of their, everything on that. They're going to be racing to the bar. They're going to have that throttle as close to the bar as they can get. And if they've been practicing on that trail a lot, they're going to know these sections really well and know what to look for. And so a lot of these jerks will go out like the night before the race, or like right before the race, like after the people have gone out and checked everything, and right before the flag drops, they're out there digging holes and making these horrible trenches and just screwing racers up, and it's horrible, because these racers spend way too much money and they've put way too much effort into this race just to get, thrown in a loop like that. That's just horrible. So not a big fan of that. And usually you can tell, like if you see a group of people sitting there watching, especially if they're videoing in a section, slow down. You just never know. They've probably set a little trap for you so they can get some good shots. So that seems to have been mitigated a lot with the Iron Dog. So good on them. Good on the volunteers. Good on our villagers and everybody doing their part. It's amazing. So I'm not sure. I will check on the Facebook page for you guys. Not a big fan of Facebook, as we all know, but this is the only time of year that I'm really on Facebook is during Iron Dog, and that's why, so I can check out the Iron Dog stats. So let's go over and check out the tracking. I'm going to flip over and see what's happening with questions and stuffs. Howdy, y'alls. All right, let's see who's on here. All right, Mopar Bill, Pyro, good to see you guys. All right, Mopar, working on your motorcycle in the back bedroom. Hey, perfect for you, racing. The real Polly T, good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Okay, Pyromedic asks, how much time? You've got some really good questions, by the way. Thank you, Pyro. How much time did those teams that had to backtrack lose? I'm not sure at this point, but it looked like they had over 20 miles that they went off the trail. So that's quite a bit. But they lost some serious time. But it looks like they're back in the swing, so they're gaining it right back. So that's good on them. Real Polly T. Timetable says get out of the way. Impressive mileage to hour ratio. Yeah. Yeah. Now, if you look at the distance these guys are going, and ladies, that these teams are running, and the times that they're running, just to make that distance in a comfortable vehicle is rough. And they've got the hammer down, and they are pounding through some of the worst terrain you can imagine and the worst weather possible. You know what I mean? It's pretty impressive. Thanks for catching on to that, Real Polly T. Pyromedic, 45 is as fast as my boat will go across water. Seems really fast, but nothing like these guys. Yeah, it's impressive. And that's their average speeds. So when we get on and we check out the, here, let me go ahead and remove this for now so you guys can see me talking. So when we get out and see more of the GPS tracking, you're going to see their actual mile per hour as they're cooking along. But those are their average speeds. So if you consider averages and the way that averages work, they are hauling ass in the terrain that they're covering. Oh, man, those top teams are flat out booking. Flat out booking. It's impressive. All right. So Pyromedic asks, that is their average. I wonder what their top speed is. Yeah. Yeah. Some of those guys are, like I said, Missy and I were to the bar for a long time, well over 100 and some odd miles an hour, just pouring it down through the rivers. So, and held it to the bar so long that my hand got numb like that, just in that squeeze position. It's all tight, and you want to blip your throttle because you don't want it, because that's how you burn down your sled. So if you don't, you can't hold it at that speed for very long. You've got to get some fluctuation in there, or you're just going to burn your sled down. So that's not good. All right. So, all right, Danny Staten, welcome. Bruce Beaver, good to see you. Good to see you. Yes, it is a grueling trek. Fly by Stu, good to see you guys. Welcome, Jody Phoebus. All right. Yeah, Jody. Yeah. They will ruin those racers' days, and that is horrible. And you see that a lot in the Baja, in the Dakar. And that's what the Iron Dog is like. It is like the Baja and Dakar, but you can't even rate it to those, because those guys have mechanics and trailers that are following their teams. Not this. The Iron Doggers, they have to be able to wrench on their sleds on the trail without power. So they're doing it all with hand tools on the trail. It's impressive. They are the ultimate MacGyvers. I love the Iron Dog. It deserves far more tracking than it gets, and publicity. So here we go. Let's get back to the tracking at hand. So did we get our GPS tracker up? Here we are. Sweet. So as you can see, here's our Trailcast teams. And that right there, Team 77, is our ambassador team. So they are, where are they at? They're headed towards Caltag, it looks like. Yep. And so they're on the river. As you can see, they're running on the river. Let's scooch this in. Let me move this. You guys don't need to see that right now. Whoops, wrong way. All right, let's move this down. So let's take a look at the trail class teams here, or the expedition class, excuse me. So they're out ahead of, they've left. They left on Wednesday, and the pro class team left this morning, and now look at where they are. So as you can see, these poor guys are going to try and get their way to Nome before these teams are just running up their booty. And that's what usually happens. The top teams are passing the expedition / trail class, whatever they call it that year, but they're usually passing those trail class teams into Nome. So good on these trail class teams. Let's see where they're at. So there's our expedition team, the 77. And these teams are into, right on. There's Randy Bedard. They're in Galena right now. We've got this team heading into Galena. And then it looks like these teams are heading into Ruby. And maybe they're laying over in Ruby. So those are our trail class teams. Right here's Team 77. And there you go. Heading into Caltag. It's our ambassador team. Here's Team 50. Awesome. And they're in Caltag. Here's Team 51. This is Randy Bedard's team. James Barnt. Here's Team 84. All right. Team 60. That's awesome. So as you see right here, they're in Galena. Here is Ruby, Galena, Caltag. And here's Poor Man. This is a really deep section through here. But there's a mining road after Poor Man through here that's really cool to rally on. And then you've got the river. Wow! Put the hammer down on the Yukon. All right, let's zoom her in. Check out our Plo class. The pro class teams. All right, here we go. Here we are in McGrath. So there is our McGrath checkpoint and major first layover spot for the top teams of the Iron Dog. So there you go. They're on, most of these teams are on their 14-hour layover. Scroll down. Get through our expedition class teams. Good on them. Whoa. Whoa. All right. So all of these guys. Down. Here we are. Here's our leaders. But as you see, they're not showing up because their sleds are off. They're off in the paddock and they're put away. They're under surveillance. They're being watched while these teams go and take their layover. Now, when they're on layover, this is the time they can eat, sleep, get their parts, do all the things that they can do off the clock. So the moment they take a layover, they pull everything off their sleds that they need, and then they declare a layover. They can no longer touch their sleds. If they go back, like let's say they have something in some of their bags on their sleds, if they do not pull their bags and take them with them on their layover, they will have, they will go back on the clock. if they go back to touch their sled again. So you do not want to make that mistake. So once you go into a checkpoint and go to to declare a layover, make sure you've got everything you're going to need in that layover. So you can't come back and touch anything on your sled, or you could get a foul, you could get disqualified. There's a lot of things that could happen depending on what you're doing or trying to get away with, because then technically you're off the clock. So you get those 14 hours or however long of the layover that you take that is not counted against your race time. So those are off the clock layover hours. So those are, time where they can relax. But the moment you touch your sled, you're on the clock. So you don't ever, that's how many teams have been disqualified over that little tidbit of detail. So they try and get in there and get under their hood, or they start working on their suspension or anything. And while their sled is designated off the clock, automatic DQ. Because all of your wrenching time, all of that kind of stuff is on the clock. It has to be on the clock. That's how you keep it fair. So there was a lot of drama one year when a previous director decided to, it was so nuts, but he, for whatever reason, decided to sponsor a women's team, and they let them go into the garage and work on their sleds off the clock. And it was just a horrible scenario. So that whole scene got shut down really fast as soon as the other board members and racers were catching on to what was going on. It was kind of a crappy situation. All right, so back to the race. So as you can see, all the top teams that have already declared their layover, you're not gonna see their sleds on there right now. And I thought you did. I thought they just pinged no matter what, but apparently they're not. So as you can see, we've got team 12 here pinging here and here. But I can probably guarantee that that team is not that far apart from one another. Unless they left their sled there, which that has happened before, where they've had to leave their sled, go into the checkpoint and get something, and then go back to get the sled. They can tow into a checkpoint. You just cannot tow out of a checkpoint. So keep that in mind as these teams are running along. They can tow their other teammate into a checkpoint, but again, they cannot tow out. So both sleds have to be completely operational. Lights, windshield, everything before they head out. So, and then we've got, let's get over here. So right here is Nikolai. And right there is the ladies team right there. So good on them. Good on you. So they're going to push on into McGrath for the first night. And that's a long haul, I'm telling you. They're going to be tired. So here's Team 44, and they have taken their layover in Puntilla. And so from Puntilla to Roan, this doesn't look like a bad section, like, oh, that's just a quick, it's a rough run right here. So it's not easy. So these sections are pretty brutal. So we've got Team 28, Charlie Potter and Eric Christensen. That's our vet team running on their way to Nikolai. And so we've got the ladies here. Let's zoom this in so we can see even better what we're dealing with. All right. And then we've got Team 37 right here. Here's Leah and Jacob. They're making their way to, they've still got what, 43, almost 44 miles to McGrath. And the ladies have, let's see what they've got 40, almost 50, 49 miles to McGrath. So it is currently, right now, it is 8:50 Alaska time. So I believe it's, yeah, so it's 8:50 Alaska time right now. Right on. Team 11 making their way. Here's Team 12's Chris Collins' sled. It has them at 0 miles an hour and 34 miles outside of McGrath. So this sled could potentially be broken down. We've got Team 12 here, or at least one of them pinging, Douglas Wicken. They're running along the Kuskokwim River as they're heading into McGrath, but you can see this river is windy. So they don't follow the river itself all the way. So you can see the trail takes advantage of as much of the river system as it can. And then it come up here on land, boom, boom, boom. And this is all part of the Iditarod Trail that they head on. Doom, doom, doom. Shablama, blama, blama. And here's Ophir, well on their way. So once they leave McGrath, this is McGrath. This is a fun section heading out of McGrath. So that'll be good. All right. There's Team 10 pinging. So let's zoom in. Usually all of these will stack up. There we go. Hopefully we'll see them all stack up. Because usually these sleds are supposed to ping no matter what. So here you get a better look at what McGrath looks like. Zooming in. There we go. Now we're seeing. Okay. There we go. That's what I thought. They're going to ping even if they're off. Bam, bam. So as you can see, the sleds are all kept in this paddock area. That's where that's as zoomed in as I can get, tubers and footers. But there you can see they're all stacked and packed right in here. Doom, 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 doom. See if I can find our champs in here. There's Team 10. There's Team 49, Clinton. Where's Team 7? Oh, they're in there. They're in there. Trust me. They're in there. All right. Way to go. Way to go, guys. So as you see, they come into McGrath. McGrath is a pretty decent town for an Alaskan village. It's getting bigger and bigger. So they're staying, and where all these different places that they could stay in at the McGrath. There are some really nice areas to stay. And like I said, it's getting bigger. So there's the airport. No, I went the wrong way. So look at that. It's a seaplane, McGrath seaplane base. So there are all the Kuskokwim River. A lot of the villages depend upon planes and boats and all of this stuff to get their supplies to them. So a lot of those villages, when you hear about like Alaska prices at the groceries, I've done a few of those videos as kind of like a, haha, see, they're not too bad. Because as far as Anchorage and Wasilla goes, our prices really aren't that far off from most of your cities. But when you get out into these villages, you're going to see those prices skyrocket. just for milk, bread, simple things. You're going to be paying, $14+ for some of that stuff. It's ridiculous. Okay, so here we go. Here's our teams heading in to McGrath for their 14-hour layover. So very exciting. Very, very exciting. Let's get back to the stream. Let me take this out. See what you guys have got going on. All right. Okay, no more questions? All right. So again, I don't think I'm going to cover the race rules tonight. But I will like to cover them while we're going on. I was going to kind of talk to you guys about the different checkpoints and the communities along the way. That is in the race guide this year. We talk about all the different checkpoints and the communities because they make the race. Without them, we wouldn't be able to have a race. So there you go. Be sure to get your Iron Dog Racer's Guide. Let me see if I can do this. www.irondog.org for all of your Iron Dog racing needs. All right, so let me show you guys some of these posters. I was going to try and hang them up, but I couldn't quite get them up. Here are our schedule of events for the Iron Dog. The 2023 Iron Dog. The Iron Dog is the world's longest, toughest snowmobile race. So we already did our Pro and Expedition Safety Expo. I took you guys there. We missed the expedition start. I apologize for that. Our cabin was needing some serious. We had a flood going on by the time everything warmed up, so we had to deal with that. We did make it to the Pro Class start today, so that was awesome. We got to see that. What's not on here is Nome. Well, that's kind of weird. How'd they miss that? Oh well. So Nome is the Nome. It's the finish. So we're gonna kind of put a line here. Help me out, poster. So we're gonna cross this. So after the start, we've got our expedition class teams that finish in Nome on the 21st. Will be the banquet. Tuesday, the 21st, will be the Nome halfway banquet for the Pro Class teams. Finish for the expedition class. So that'll be really fun. Joe and I will be there. So we're going to be flying up to Nome for that. I would love to have you guys along for the ride. I also want to show you guys something really cool. Hold on. Footy Man has been holding on to this. I don't think you guys can see my Footy Mans. I'll show them to you guys because you're going to get a kick out of these. I got them in Seattle. All right. Here is our raffle poster. Here's Iron Dog's number. Be sure to call Iron Dog if you want to sponsor the race. Iron Dog is always looking for corporate sponsors, so be sure to hit your businesses that you work for, all of that. Say, hey, you guys want to be a part of this race? It's an awesome race. You should sponsor it. Sponsor some teams. Good stuff. So there you go. Right here is their raffle poster for the 2023 Iron Dog raffle. Anchorage Chrysler Dodge has donated this 2022 Ram Bighorn truck. And you guys saw it from today's video. It is stickered up with all the Iron Dog swaggy logos. Then we've got the trailer here, which is a 2023 Royal Cargo 16-foot enclosed trailer. That was a really nice trailer, and that was supplied by Big Bubba's Trailer and Auto Sales. And then for the third raffle gift, or what you could, I guess not gift, it's what you could possibly win in the raffle, is the 2022 Polaris 850 Chaos. That is a bad little sled there. And then you get 4 round-trip tickets on Alaska Airlines plus 10,000 cash from Alaska Airlines. Love Alaska Airlines. That's who we're going to fly to Nome. That's who we fly everywhere pretty much. And then you've got, for 5th place prize, you've got this this e-bike from Alaska e-bike. That is a badass Duro downhill e-bike. That'd be fun to rally. And then sixth prize is $1,500 Climb gift certificate. That's awesome. Climb makes some of the best outdoor gear. I'm telling you, especially for doing any kind of outdoor sports, because it's breathable as well, and as well as being able to handle the conditions. Really good stuff. And then our 7th prize is 5 nights lodging and meals for 2 at Alpine Creek Lodge. Oh, that's exciting. Oh, that'd be sweet. Little romantic getaway. All right. So there you go. It's $60 a ticket. And if you get multiple tickets, I think it's like $100 for 2, kind of deal like that. So, and they get better as you go on. So I think you can get like more, like 5 for, I'm not going to try and say what they are, but yeah, check it out. So I got 2 tickets today, Tubers and Butters. So over 100,000 in prizes. And Iron Dog is a 501c3. So it is tax deductible. So make your donations for Iron Dog. Sweet. Like I said, I will never have merch. That is not something I ever plan on doing. I do not ever plan on monetizing my channel. This is just kind of some fun project for me. So if you want merch, go grab some Iron Dog or Team CC gear from them. Yay! Look at this little critter. Is she cute? Look at her little, oh, wrong footy. Look at her little footy. Isn't that cute? I got that at Seattle, the Seattle airport. It's just too cute to pass up. So I got that one. And then, of course, I had to get the bigger one. Here's the papa. Kind of looks like that Apple footy man. I don't know if you guys have seen the Bigfoot game on the Apple games. It kind of looks like that. Sam Squatch. All right, tubers and footers, that will be enough for the evening. I really appreciate having you all around. Tomorrow, we will jump back on, watch the racers take off out of McGrath. Hopefully, I will be bringing on, for some reason, it's hot in here. I will be bringing on some of the Facebook stuff if I can, if there's not going to be any issues with that. I don't want to run into any kind of strikes. I had enough of that during the day. And let's get you guys here. Take a little Pez, a little chewy Pez, y'all. Don't forget your little chewy Pez. All right, tubers and footers, here you go. Nummy, nummy. All right. So tomorrow, while we're watching the race, I'm going to put on one of these candy necklaces and be watching while I'm chewing away. And remember, I got some of these crazy Bean Boozled from Jelly Belly. You don't know what flavor they are. It may not be the greatest thing ever. Oh, I guess it does have a little. Let me see my cameras. There we go. Oh, yeah. Looks like flavors that I'm really going to enjoy. So that ought to be fun. So I'll just be popping those in and I'll see what we get. And then I'll go through the racer rules. I keep saying, oh, I'm going to go through the racer rules, but we will. We will. We got some time. So again, thank you all for joining along. I really appreciate having you here. Thanks for making memories with me, because that's what it's all about. So thank you. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to get out there tonight. The snow is super, super deep Doesn't make for great footy man exploration, let me tell you. Maybe if I tunnel through. All right, tubers and footers. Cheers. Remember, get your Iron Dog swag. Have a great night. Thanks for making memories with me. Iron Dog are out. See you soon. Bye, tubers and footers. Thanks for joining.